So here it is. About 2 months ago, I stepped away from a pretty good paying job in industry, and I started consulting. And I haven't made a dime at it yet. And I'm still looking for my first client. And it feels like a little bit of a risk. I feel like I'm being a little vulnerable here by admitting that publicly. But this is a process, and everybody has told me that it's a process. So I thought, what better way of sharing that growth than by documenting my journey and sharing it with all of you. Now, my name is Matt Romoser, and I've been in human factors engineering and Lean Six Sigma for the last 25 years. I've worked in academia teaching students. I've worked with a few small companies in a advising aspect, mostly with student teams. But it's only just recently that I've taken that leap of faith, so to speak, and decided to kind of pursue something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that was basically pursuing something of my very own. It's something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. And as a matter of fact, since 2017, this has starting System Scholar, which is my consulting firm, has been percolating in the back of my mind, if you want to call it that. And it wasn't until I decided to dedicate myself to it full time 2 months ago that I really had a chance to pursue it in a way that I felt was giving it the time it really needed to grow. And I wanted to share something with you. This is the logo that I created for System Scholar, just hand sketched in September of 2017. And, this just from an old notebook of mine that I found in the closet. And it's I took this logo and gave it to somebody on Fiverr. And I tell you what, it was the best $20 I ever spent. This person, I now forget who it was, to be honest, turned it around in a couple days, gave me a whole suite of different formats, and gave me this logo that I felt really encapsulated what I wanted to do with System Scholar, the engineering, systems engineering side of it, with the gear and the interlocked S's and so on. And this idea it's taken a while for me to get here, but where I am, I'm very proud of what I've been able to accomplish so far. I'm developing my course materials and training. I've put together a sort of quasi studio, complete with a webcam with a smiley face on it to remind me to talk to you directly. I've been authoring some workshops and setting up my outreach and developing ideas for a community of learning, such a scope, into something that I can present to you, my target audience, which is manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, and other types of organizations that have systems that need improvement. And I'm getting those ready to go, but I haven't yet been able to get that first client. And I believe that is not unusual for people to be in that position. And I'm sure there are many people who have walked in my shoes and have yet to land their first client. If I can help even just one person who is thinking about maybe taking that leap into consulting, decide I can do this too, then in my view, this risk I'm taking by publicly saying, hey, I'm just getting started with this, is well worth it, because that really kind of fits within this idea of scope, this shared community of process excellence. This is a initiative that I came up with to encourage small and medium-sized businesses to open their doors to me as a consultant, and to not only work with them in the shoes of a consultant or mentor, but to document the improvements that we make and share those in the form of video, case studies, written articles, and photos, to inspire others who might be having similar problems out there. And it's I believe that there are others out there who are where I am and want to be able to share in the journey of starting a consulting business and taking the risk of stepping away from a good paying job in industry and academia. So why did I step away from academia and industry? It wasn't because I don't love teaching, and it wasn't because I don't love research. I really enjoy doing both of those. Some of my most rewarding aspects of my job has been to train the next generation of engineers and to give them the skills that they need to succeed as engineers, and watch as they go out and connect with them on LinkedIn and follow up with them 1, 2, 3, 4 years later down the road, and see that they are applying the things that I've taught them. And not only that, but they've also taken on new challenges. They've gotten higher degrees. They've gotten other certifications. I've created a Lean Six Sigma certification program while I was at the university I was teaching at, Western New England University. And many of those students have now found themselves in quality engineering there, or positions, or as the head of continuous improvement in their prospective firms. And to me, that makes me feel great to be able to do that. With regards to research, I've always enjoyed research. I enjoy designing the experiments, considering the different aspects of what the important variables and metrics I need to track, and how am I going to measure those metrics? How am I going to control for confounds? And what is the research question that I really want to address? To me, those are super interesting. And it's, the papers, the teaching, that's all rewarding stuff, but to me there was something missing, and it kind of boiled down to a realization that I was kind of jealous of my students. They were going out there and applying these skills and kind of getting their hands dirty and having fun in that sandbox out there that is industry, and I wasn't able to be right there with them. And, I was giving them the skills, we were spending time in the classroom. I was being able to impart my knowledge to them, but I really missed being on the front lines, being in the trenches of industry and solving real world problems. And so now I'm finding is what's happening is that with System Scholar, that energy that I used to have for teaching in the classroom, teaching undergraduates, teaching graduate students at the university, for doing the research in my industry positions in transportation, human factors. I want to take that energy I had for that, and the enthusiasm and the desire to do that, and focus it into another area that I believe I'm very passionate about, and that's mentorship. Being able to work with people side by side and not be the white knight. Because when it comes to consulting, I don't subscribe to the white knight model of consulting. I really don't. I don't believe that the best purpose of hiring a consultant is to turn the entire problem over to them, have them go out, take their measurements, implement their fixes, write up a nice big fat report and hand it to you, wave and say, all right, I'm done, I'm out of here, and then leave. To me, the opportunities for backsliding, for things reverting back to the way they were before, are very high in those types of situations. And why is that? Well, it's because you know a lot of you're going in and implementing the system, the improvements as the consultant, but you're not imparting the knowledge, you're not imparting the skill sets to maintain that system or continuously improve it. And so what I would much rather do as a consultant is to go in and work side by side with my clients and impart the skills that they need to succeed. To me, the ideal situation when it comes to my client consulting relationship would be to go in, identify what their pain points are, what their problems are, and then go into this vast library of topics and skills in Lean Six Sigma, human factors, work analysis, and pull out those tools that would best address that problem that they're having, and then formulate some training around that, conduct the training with them, and train as many people as I can within their facility who need that training and would most benefit from it. And then following the training, you don't stop there, you continue and in the plant with them, or in the facility, or in the organization. You don't have. It doesn't have to be in a manufacturing plant. Hospitals, administrative organizations, charities, they all have processes. We're surrounded by processes. Go with them into their facility and literally work side by side. Roll your sleeves up with them, take the measurements with them, help them analyze the data they get, help them problem solve, help them formulate their solutions and troubleshoot them and beta test them on a small cell, and then implement them system-wide, and then finally come up with new standard operating procedures so that they can maintain those processes going forward. And that's a mentorship model that I believe is right in my sweet spot when it comes to my skill set. So that's where I am right now, is I'm putting together all of these, I'm trying to take all of my knowledge and all of my skills and package them up in such a way that they can be consumed by my ideal clients, small and mid-sized businesses who may not be able to afford a full-time process improvement manager or specialist in their facility. And then, but I'm just starting that process. I've been at it for 2 months. I've yet to have my first client. And, I created Scope as a way of, and that's the shared community of process excellence, as a way of maybe creating some community and encouraging not only my clients to work with me, but also to work with each other. So I don't have any revenue yet, and I'm still looking for my first client. I've created a YouTube page, and I've really expanded my LinkedIn engagement and posting to LinkedIn. And I've posted a few videos on my YouTube page. And as I go through this process, I know there's got to be other people out there like yourself who are in this position, who have either started their own consulting business and have been through what I'm going through right now, or might be actually at the same level I am, just getting started and feeling a little overwhelmed, or maybe thinking about taking that leap. And I'm documenting this process for you. So I'm planning for this to be the first episode of an ongoing video blog about my experience as a new consultant in the field of engineering, human factors engineering, and manufacturing engineering. I'm going to document all my wins, all my pivots, all my hard lessons, and all the experiences that I have, so that we can all mutually benefit from this. And because my goal is to not only promote System Scholar doing this, yes, of course, I would hope that this would get some traction, and this might convince some people, like, hey, I might want to give Matt, or Dr. Romo, if you prefer, that's what my students have always called me, I might be willing to give him a chance. But I also want to be a model to the community of new consultants as well, saying that, I want to create kind of community-oriented process improvement content and expand what I teach. So if this is interesting to you, I would really love to hear from you. And I don't say that lightly. I know every YouTube video ends with, like and subscribe, and please post in the comments and let's start the conversation there. But I really mean it. I want you to reach out to me. Post in the comments. If you are where I am now, or have been, or are considering making that leap, I want to hear what your experiences are. I want to hear what problems you came up with. What were your victories? What were your success stories? What were your failures? So we can all learn from those. And let's start the discussion. That is as much part of scope as anything else that I've done. It's a shared community of process excellence. And starting a new company is a process. It really is. And, I'll close with this. I have in front of me some bullet lists of things that I wanted to talk about. And to be honest with you, I've completely ignored it. I've barely touched on the bullets that I have literally right in front of me right here. And I've actually much more enjoyed kind of talking from the heart to you. And so when I say I would love to hear from you, I mean it. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. Even if you aren't in manufacturing or aren't somebody who might even hire me as a client. If you are just a consultant, and really in anything, I'd love to start that conversation with you and hear from you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I've enjoyed making it more than I anticipated I would. And just having this conversation with you is nice. Or having the conversation with the little smiley face on my webcam. I'm speaking to you through the smiley face. I'm hoping to connect with you, but that's the little smiley face here is my avatar for you, my audience. But please reach out. Do like and subscribe. I know that's cliche, but if this is a vlog that or a conversation that you would like to be a part of, then please do so. And I hope to talk with you soon. So until next time, have a great day, and I'll talk to you on the next episode.